Somebody who you know is going to need this game. And now we are live on Instagram. We'll get our topic in here. Facebook, you already see the topic. Y'all see what we're going to talk about today. How to be a productive hater. And some of y'all didn't think it was possible to be a productive hater, but it is possible. Nobody else can teach you how to do this. I can teach you how to do it. That's why I'm doing this live right here. So we're going to give Instagram like 30 seconds to come into this live so that they know, so that I know that they know this is going on. Then we're getting right into the material. We ain't going to take too much time waiting for people to check in. When you get in here, you get in here. Get in how you fit in. To be early is to be on time. On time is late, and late is forgotten. So I hope everybody's had a great Thursday. As I said, May the 21st. And happy birthday to the Notorious B.I.G. This is Big's birthday. Would have been today. Obviously, he's passed away now, but shout out to Notorious B.I.G. So as y'all checking in, tell me your name and location in the comment section. We're going to get started in 10 seconds. I'm going to introduce myself, then we're going right into it. Matter of fact, we're getting started right now. So for those who don't know me, my name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, former 9-year professional basketball player overseas. I'm an author of 26 books. I am spoken on 4 different stages, giving TED Talks. If you don't know what a TED Talk is, look it up on YouTube. We'll go to dreallday.com/TED. I have created over 15,000 pieces of content, 7,000 on YouTube, 7,000 articles, 1,500 podcast episodes, thousands of live streams like this one right here. We got ATL in the house. Emmanuel from New Jersey was good. And I've created all of these things, all the stuff that I do, whether it's through written content, the spoken word, audio content, products, books, courses, coaching, speaking, etc., is all under the umbrella of this philosophy that I created called Work on Your Game. It's all about taking a pro athlete mindset and teaching you how to apply that mindset in your business, in your life, and in your sport if you happen to be an athlete. And one of my 26 books is called Work on Your Game, where I took that whole philosophy, put it into one book. I'll tell you about this book later on today. But what we're going to talk about here today, though, is how to be a productive hater. How can you be a hater but still use it in a positive way? That's the question I'm going to answer here today, because usually in our culture, right, when people talk about hating, that's like a negative thing, right? Nobody wants to be looked at as a hater. Nobody would ever admit that they're a hater, but most of the time people call other people haters because they say, oh, this person is negative, or this person is they see that you have something good going and they just have negative energy towards you, or they want you to fail, or they trying to see you lose for whatever reason. Maybe because they're just a negative person. Maybe somebody's just a loser. Maybe they just got something negative against you personally. But nobody wants to be seen as a hater. A hater, being called a hater, is universally seen as a negative thing, right? Nobody wants to be a hater. But I'll tell you something that happened once. I was watching, I don't remember what gym it was, but I was watching a video on social media, and I seen some dude in the gym working out. And he was working out in a gym that I had played in like way before Instagram was even out. This is pre-Instagram, so this is probably in the early 2000s or something like that. But he was recording. He was on Instagram. I'm like, damn, I didn't get to post no videos out of that gym on Instagram, but he did. And for a minute, I felt I was hating on him. I was mad, like, damn, he got that look to use that gym. I never got a chance to use that gym. And I'm thinking, damn, I was kind of hating on dude a little bit, but it wasn't a negative type of hate. And I heard 50 Cent say something like, whenever I hear another rapper make a song, and he said, whenever I hear another rapper make a song and it sounds, and I say to myself, damn, I wish I had made that song, then that's when I know it's a hot record. All right, that's what 50 Cent said. When I hear another rapper make a song, I'm like, damn, I wish I had made that. I wish I had got that beat. I wish I did this, or I wish I did that. Then that means they know that person made a hot song. So what I'm talking about here today is how to be a hater. And you could maybe hate on something that somebody else did. If you're a musician, somebody else made a song that you didn't make. If you're an athlete, somebody else had a whole bunch of points in the game and you didn't do it. If you're a business person, somebody else just did something great in business and you hadn't done it yet. How can you be a hater and use it in a productive, positive type of way? Point number 1, today's topic. People demonize, how to be a productive hater. First point. People demonize envy, because that's all hate is. Hate is envy, right? It's just a feeling of envy. Somebody else did something, or they have something, or they are something, or they have some kind of accomplishment or something that you don't have. So you're like, damn, that person got it and I don't have it, and you kind of feel you're envious. And usually people don't want to admit to envy because, as I said in the beginning, in our culture these days, nobody wants to admit to being envious of somebody else's accomplishments, but we all feel this from time to time. Sometimes we are willing to admit it to others. Sometimes, actually very, very seldom are we willing to admit it to others. Sometimes we're willing to admit it to ourselves, if only just telling ourselves that we feel envious. And often what we do is we act like we're not envious. Somebody does something and we're envious. We feel the envy, but we don't admit that we're envy. We definitely don't tell that person or the world or even anybody. We don't even tell our dog or our significant other or our kids or our mom or our therapist that we're envious of another person's accomplishment, even though all of us feel it at times, especially if you're a person who's, you want to succeed in life. You want to go somewhere. You want to have things. You want to accomplish stuff. And you see other people going places, having things and accomplishing things, maybe faster than you, or maybe more than you, or more easily than you, or whatever. Something that they're doing that you haven't done. You feel a little bit of envy. But the problem is, in our culture, that gets frowned upon, right? Nobody wants to do that. Because when we see somebody else happy, healthy, thing is going for them, we don't want to feel like we're envious. Somebody shout out to Super You. Shout out to people reading Super You. But I want you to understand, all of us feel it. So what I suggest to you, this is my offer to you, my argument here to you, is to allow yourself to feel it next time that you're envious. Allow yourself to feel it that you're hating on that person. And it doesn't have to be negative energy. Like, you could be hating on somebody just because they did something you didn't do, but not because you want them to fail. Not because if they got a nice car and you ain't get a new car yet, or maybe you only have a car, you want to train. You don't want them to crash their car, get their car stolen. They can still have their car. You're just hating because they got the car before you. Or you play ball and somebody had 40 points and you're like, damn, I only had 15 points my last game. You can hate on the fact that they had 40, but you can't erase the fact that they scored 40. You don't want them to get injured or break their leg. It's just that, damn, they did it before I did it, or they did more than I did. That's envious. That's a feeling of envy, and envy can be used in a positive way. You just have to know how to use it in a positive way. But the first step to using envy in a positive way is, the first thing is you have to admit that you're actually feeling it. Because if you don't admit that you're feeling envy, then you can't use it. Because if you're denying it, like, no, I'm not envious. I don't care that that person had 40 points. I don't care that this person got a new Lambo. Well, I'm still on the train and on the bus and taking Ubers. I don't care about it. I don't care about the fact this person has more accomplishments than me, or that my office mate got promoted to the new manager job. Now they're my boss when we used to be colleagues and we start working there at the same time. If you deny that energy, the fact that you feel a little bit envious of that person, then you're not going to be able to use the energy. So the first step is to be okay with acknowledging this energy of envy. And then what you can do is use that energy of envy, because we know energy is 85% of the job. Use that energy for your own positive outcomes, for your own positive accomplishments. That leads us to point number 2. The topic here today, for those who missed the introduction, the topic is how to be a productive hater. How you can be a hater of somebody else's accomplishments, or basically someone else's accomplishments, achievements, possessions, whatever, whoever they are, whatever their status, whatever, but still use it in a positive way. So the first thing I just explained to you is that envy, all right, anger is energy, happiness is energy, frustration is energy, sadness is energy. Any type of emotion that you feel contains energy within it. In order to utilize that energy within any emotion, the first step is you have to acknowledge that you're actually feeling that emotion. Then ask yourself, what could you do with this energy? So when you feel envious of someone else's accomplishments, that's probably because, hopefully, unless you're just a loser who wants to go nowhere in life, you just want to see people fail. Unless it's that, usually when you feel envious of another person, is because they did something, they accomplished something, and when you see it, you're like, damn, I wish I had accomplished that. I wish I had done that. I wish I had done it. Maybe I did it first. I wish I had done it bigger. I wish I had done it better than that person. Again, not that you want to take it away from them, but that you wish you were on that level or close to it, or even better than that individual. So what that energy can do is, especially if you're a competitive person and you're a person who wants to achieve, you can use that energy to push you to succeed even higher. So you could be okay with your man who plays on the other team across town scoring 40 points in a game and you only had 15 points in the game. You can use that energy to push you to succeed even more. I remember the rookie year in the NBA, it was LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony, their first year in the league. LeBron had went and scored like 40 points in one game, and then the next night, Carmelo Anthony had a game, and he scored 40 points in that game. Now, I don't know if they talked to each other. They probably did. Maybe Carmelo saw. I'm pretty sure Carmelo saw that LeBron had 40, and that got him a little bit more amped up for the game. It's not like he was going to score 0 without LeBron getting his 40, but I think LeBron getting his 40 motivated Carmelo to go and do his thing, what he was going to do. And those are the things that we love to see in sports. We like to see when people get motivated or excited or whatever kind of energy they want to use. Anger. Well, Michael Jordan, I mean, they just put the documentary out. We just finished this last weekend when he lost in the NBA playoffs 1995 after he came back from baseball, didn't really have a chance to get in shape, but he thought he could just go out there and play. Couldn't do it. They lost in the playoffs. He was motivated. He's probably feeling a lot of different energies. He's probably feeling frustration because he couldn't play the way he used to play. Maybe sadness because he let his team down and everybody expected Michael Jordan means you guaranteed to win, and he didn't actually do it. He's probably feeling a little bit of anger because somebody had actually beat him, and he talked, the whole docket was about how competitive the guy was. He was probably feeling a little bit of envy because now the Orlando team who beat him, they went to the next round because that was only the second round of the playoffs. They went to the next round, beat that next team. Then they went to the NBA Finals. So Jordan was like, damn, I'm used to playing in the NBA Finals. This year, I'm not playing in the NBA Finals. So he probably felt envious of the other teams that were in the finals because he wasn't in there. So he used all of those energies as what? Energy. He used that energy to work on his game in the offseason, got himself back into peak basketball shape, and then the next season, won 72 games, won the championship, then he won 2 more championships after that. So understand, whenever you feel envy based on someone else's accomplishments or something that you came up short on, and then you see other people's accomplishments by comparison, you're like, damn, I came up short, but all these people didn't come up short. They finished the job. That is energy. And you can utilize energy as long as you keep it focused on where you want to take it. Is where you want to take that energy. Is where you want, what do you want to do with that energy? How do you want to apply that energy and make it work for you? And then you can always use the energy of hate, of anger, of frustration, all those energies that are negative energies that we think are not good to use, or we don't want to ever have them, or we want to eliminate them. Or what most people do is act like they're not feeling it. Like somebody act like they're not mad when they fail at something, or act like they're not upset if somebody beats them. Listen, it's okay to feel it. I mean, Michael Jordan I'll use Jordan as an example again. When he lost, I mean, he told many stories. People told stories about him. Well, I beat Michael Jordan in ping pong, or I beat Michael Jordan in cards. I beat him in dominoes, and he got mad at me. He's not even a dominoes player. He's a basketball player, but he got so mad that he lost in golf or dominoes or cards that he wouldn't even want to talk to the person because he was that competitive. He would get that angry or envious or whatever words you want to use, but he utilized that energy. He took that energy and he applied it to becoming better so that he wouldn't lose again. And that was his whole drive. And I'm not saying that you need to do that. I'm just giving you an example of how somebody took an energy that most people call negative and he turned it into a positive. You could do the exact same thing, but the first step is you must acknowledge that you are feeling that energy. Point number 2. Is that point number 2? That's point number 3. Today's topic. And don't suppress those energies, as I just said. Point number 3, for those who came in the middle of this, today's topic is how to be a productive hater. You could be a hater, you could be angry, you could feel frustrated about the fact that someone else has gotten more accomplishments than you, make more money than you. They got the girl that you like the girl, but the girl liked him instead of liking you, or the guy, and the guy liked her instead of liking you. Your teammate, your ex-teammate scored 40 points in the game. You only had 10 points in the game. Your office mate got the promotion you didn't get. How can you use this energy to do something productive that actually helps you and doesn't hurt anybody else? You're just helping yourself and pushing yourself forward. Point number 3, understand it is not bad news when somebody outdoes you. Now, you might feel a little bit of envy. You might hate a little bit. You might be like, damn, why didn't I do that? I need this. You might be motivated to step your game up. You might get excited about, oh man, this person beat me out on this. I'm not letting them beat me in anything else. And some people see that as negative, but I just explained to you how you can use that energy positively. But it's not a bad thing when somebody outdoes you or when you feel envy, okay? When somebody has an idea that you wish you had, or they get an accomplishment that you wish you had gotten first or gotten period, understand this. That's not a bad thing. I'm going to give you 3 reasons. Reason number A, I'm not going to use numbers because I'm already giving you 3 points. A, when someone else does something before you or better than you, they are giving you an example that it can be done. They're showing you that it's possible to be done. So if you've been scoring 20 points every game, and you're like, yo, I'm in good shape, I'm scoring 20 points a game, but then your homie from across the city scores 30 points in a game, 5 games in a row, you're like, oh, I thought I was good scoring 20, but now he's scoring 30. Maybe I need to start scoring 30. Maybe you didn't think you needed to score 30, but now that you saw somebody else doing it, now that may excite you to go do it. Or maybe somebody will go do something that you never even thought of. I mean, look at the smartphones that you're watching this on right now. Before Steve Jobs made this, nobody else was thinking about it. Nobody else thought of, let me make a phone that's also an iPod or a streaming MP3 player, and is also a computer. So you can go on the internet, you can call people, you can text people, and you can listen to all the music that you want, all saved on this one device. Nobody had thought of that before Steve Jobs put it out. But when he put it out, then you got a whole bunch of other companies came out with smartphones or devices that could play music, and you can go on the internet and devices that could do multiple things at the same time. Nobody was doing that before Steve Jobs did it. So the fact that they saw that and said, damn, all right, Steve Jobs and them, Apple's about to take over the whole market if we just sit back and let them, because there's no other competitor. Let us go make something. So they used that energy of, damn, this dude beat us to the punch. And that pushed them to go do something. It showed them that the possibility existed. So when you create something brand new, you're not just going to create a win for yourself. You're actually creating a win for everybody, because somebody's going to see what you did and they're going to try to compete with you. They might not be better than you. I mean, I don't think anybody makes a phone or makes digital products better than Apple, but they have motivated other people to put stuff out, so we have competition in the market, which actually is a good thing, even if you plan on staying with Apple, because it keeps them from running the prices up because they got competition. Point number B here. We're still on point number 3, but this is reason 2B, why you should be happy when somebody else outdoes you or beats you to the punch. It'll wake you up if you've been sleepwalking. You ever found yourself kind of like not going as hard as you could, not really that motivated, not really that excited on a day by day, because things become kind of routine, they become kind of normal, you're just used to what you're doing, and then all of a sudden somebody beats you. You're used to winning every time, and then somebody beats you. Or all of a sudden you're used to making a certain amount of money, but then you don't make it because somebody else got the money before you. Or you're used to having a certain spot, a certain position, and now somebody took your position from you because they've been working while you were kind of sleepwalking and going halfway at half speed through the motions. Now you're like, oh, somebody woke me up. Like, I just used the example, Michael Jordan. He thought he could just come back from baseball, having not playing basketball at all, and just walk on the basketball court and dominate in the NBA. And he was pretty damn good, but he wasn't good enough to carry his team to a championship because he wasn't in his best basketball shape mentally or physically, and that woke him up. He woke up and said, all right, I got to rededicate myself to this game. I got a reason now because I just lost. Now I can prove myself all over again. It was the perfect combination. It was a perfect mix for somebody who was super competitive like Michael Jordan, combined with the fact that he had some actual skills that he could use to produce the outcome. So just being competitive is not enough to produce an outcome. It's actually having skills to go with your competitiveness so that you can actually do something with it. So reason B is that it wakes you up. Hating on somebody else is waking you up to the fact that somebody did something that you didn't do, and there's something in you that feels some type of way about that. Again, if you address that energy properly and you acknowledge it for what it is and accept it to yourself, not anybody else, but just to yourself, you can do a whole lot with that energy. It'll wake you up and move you to action, and maybe just put a little bit of pep in your step, so to speak. And reason number C, why it's good when somebody else beats you out or causes envy to trigger within you. If you are a very competitive individual, any of you who are athletes or any of you in the business world, people are competitive. You're competitive on any level. It will influence you into action. It will make you want to get better, and it'll make you want to outdo that person. They outdid you, now you're going to outdo them. All right, somebody dunked on you, you playing a basketball game, somebody dunked on you, you could hold your head and drag your feet the rest of the game and try to hide, or you can say, all right, give me the ball, I'm going to dunk back on him. Somebody crossed you over, now you cross them over. Somebody beat you in the game, now let's play again so I can beat you in the game. That is what happens with competitive people. They lose, and they want to get back, and they want to win. So this energy of envy, of frustration, of anger, of fear, of sadness, whatever you want to call it, when somebody else has outdone you, is energy that can be used for positive purposes, but you have to be wise enough and you got to be self-aware enough to keep it real with yourself that you are feeling this energy. So you should be happy, and you should be looking for people around you, people in your circle and in your environment who are just as good as you, if not better than you, or at least had the potential to be, because you want there to be people around you who can be better than you. Now, you want to have teammates on your team who, if you don't play hard in practice, will kick your butt all up and down the court or all up and down the field or whatever sports you play, so that you know you got to show up every day ready to go, because if you don't, you're going to get embarrassed. Now, you should want friends, if you're a business person, you should want friends who are also in business who are just as good as you, if not better than you, so that when they achieve something and they let you know and they're celebrating their accomplishment, if they outdid you with their accomplishment, it'll wake you up and say, damn, I need to step my game up because look what he did, look what she did. You can use that energy to push yourself to go do what you want to do next. So you should be happy when there are people around you who are better than you. You should be happy when one of your friends achieves something that you have not yet achieved. You should be happy when you've been not having any energy, but then somebody you know does something amazing that shows that they have been having energy and that they have been showing up, and that it kind of shows you by comparison that maybe you've been sleeping at the wheel. Maybe you ain't been really bringing it the way you need to bring it, but that'll wake you up. You should be happy about this. This is why with the law of association, they say you become the average of the people you surround yourself with, right? You want to surround yourself with people who are so good that when they're doing their best, you have no choice but to be your best, because them at their best will blow you out the water if you don't show up and give your best possible effort. That's the great thing about being around other people who are just as good as you. So you need to look around at your circle and ask yourself this. If you don't bring your best, is any of these people going to be so far away above you that it's going to make you look dumb? It's going to make you look like you shouldn't even be in the room. Because if you're able to be the best in the room, even if you're not giving your best, you're not bringing your best, and you have no energy, and you're still the best, you're in the wrong room. You're hanging with the wrong people. You have the wrong associates. You need to get around people whose very presence will push you to be the best version of you. And if you are not around those people right now, you need to go start looking for them right now, because I guarantee you they exist, because nobody in this world is perfect. There's always somebody who is better than you at something. So wherever you want to get better, go identify where the people who are already better than you, where are they at, where are they hanging out. I guarantee you there's somewhere that they're at. You're just not there. Go find that place and keep yourself there. Stay there until you're so good that they're not competition anymore, and you got to go find somebody else. Let me recap these points that I gave you here today. Today's topic is how to be a productive hater. I'm going to tell you about these two books I got in front of me, how you can get either one of these books or both of them for free right now. And then I'm going to answer questions if we got any questions. So the topic is how to be a hater, but be a hater in a productive way. Now, usually, point number one, people demonize envy. Right? Hating on somebody is envy. It's just a feeling of envy towards somebody. You're feeling envious because somebody made some money that you didn't make. Maybe they made a sale. You've been trying to sell the same product. They made the team. You didn't make the team. They got the girl. You didn't get the girl. They just did something you didn't do. You feel a little bit of envy. But in our culture, a lot of times we don't want to admit to feeling envy. We don't want to admit it publicly, and which is fine, because it doesn't matter if other people know how you feel. But we don't want to admit it even privately to ourselves. We don't admit that we feel envy of someone else's achievement, because we have been conditioned to believe that feeling envy is just like a sign of weakness, or especially with males, they don't want to admit that they feel any type of emotion. Listen, hate is a good energy. Envy is a good energy because it will motivate you to do what you need to do. And it will show you that somebody else did something that you haven't done yet, which may wake you up to do what you got to do. Point number two. When you're competitive, you will be okay with seeing other people succeed, as long as you can use that energy to find a way to succeed yourself. You see somebody else doing something great, you're like, damn, I never thought of that. I need to do that. I need to do something different. Maybe I need to do something similar to that. What they did will motivate you to step your own game up, because you see they're stepping theirs up. And point number three, it's not bad news when somebody outdoes you. When somebody does something that causes envy in you, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, because that means you are around, or at least you're paying attention to, people who could potentially be better than you, which means you will always be driven to get better. If you're a competitive individual, you want to be around people who are better than you, or at least as good as you, or who have the potential to be better than you, because their presence alone and their talent and their skill will motivate you to stay on point and stay sharp, and make sure that you keep working on your talent and your skill, and make sure that your game is as good as it needs to be. If you're only surrounded by people who are you are so much better than them that no matter what you do, even if you barely show up, you sleepwalk through the day, you're still the best. Now, you don't want to be around those people. They're not going to motivate you to be better, and you will become mediocre by association. That's why they call it the law of association. You become the average of the people you spend the most time with. It's not 5 people, it's any amount of people. And who you spend time with, the great thing that all of us have now is the internet. That spending time with a person doesn't mean it has to be somebody that you know when you shake their hand. If you watch somebody, you listen to somebody's podcast every day, you're spending time with them. If you watch somebody's YouTube videos, you're spending time with them. You read somebody's book, you are spending time with that person. If you go to somebody's conference and they're on stage talking for 8 hours, you're spending time with that person. So whoever you spend the most time with, that's what you're listening to, what you're reading, who you're talking to on the phone, what you're watching, and the people you spend physically in their space. Whoever you're spending the most time with, those are the people you become. So I suggest you be very wise in choosing your mentors. With the internet, you have a choice of being mentored by anybody you want. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, whatever other websites out there that I don't even know about. You can be mentored by anybody that you want. You can associate yourself with anybody who is on the internet. Now, the only people you can't is if they're not on the internet and you don't know them personally, but everybody else, they're wide open on the internet. You can associate with them all day, every day. And if they got material, like books like this, you can associate with them as much as you want. So you got to make that decision. 3 reasons why is good. Number 1, they will show you what's possible. Number 2, it'll wake you up when you're sleepwalking. Number 3, if you're competitive, it will influence you into action. So let me tell you about these 2 books I got here in front of me, how you can get either one of these books or both of these books if you so choose for free right now if you don't have them already. This book right here is called The Mirror of Motivation. It's a self-guide to self-discipline. This book's purpose is for anyone out there who feels like you need to discard the current version of you and you need to step into a new version of you. A new version of you who has a different energy, a different approach. You got that spark lit from the inside out of you. You got your passion is lit, your fire is ignited, and you just approach life with a different energy. Doesn't mean you got to even do anything different, because when you change your energy and you take the same actions as before, you will get a different result. That's the way that it works in life. When you step your energy up, when you have a different passion, when you have a different purpose, when you have a true purpose, the same actions will produce completely different results. If that's what you want in your life, I suggest you get the self-guide to self-discipline by going to mirrorofmotivation.com. The book is already paid for. I just ordered another. How many books did we order? We ordered about 200 books today that are on the way. That is no joke. We ordered 200 books today. I would show you the receipt if I had my computer open. 200 of these, not these, but 200 total. These are part of it. Mirrorofmotivation.com. That's because we've been shipping out so many of these. Mirrorofmotivation.com. The book is paid for. You take care of the shipping. Mirrorofmotivation.com. This book right here is called The Overseas Basketball Blueprint. This book is for the person who wants to play professional basketball anywhere in the world. Okay, it doesn't matter what country you are from. If you are American, you could be from Spain, you could be from Australia, United Kingdom, Canada. We ship damn near 50% of the books that we ship of this right here are international. So we've been shipping to Germany, France, Spain, Australia, a whole bunch of books to Canada, and then the other half of them are somewhere in the United States. So this is, I'm telling you that to tell you this. If you are not from the United States and you want to play pro basketball, you still need to read this book, because this book is about the principles that you need to follow. Okay, so even if you technically wouldn't have to get on an airplane to go play because you live in Europe already and you want to play in Europe, the principles in this book still apply 100% to you. And you can get this book by going to balloverseas.com. So this is for every player who you feel like you've been overlooked, underrated, nobody's paying attention to you, nobody's ever giving you a shot, but you feel like you have the skill and the talent to play professional basketball and you want to give it a shot and get the best job in the world, which is playing pro basketball. There's no job in the world better than being a pro basketball player, by the way, in case y'all didn't know. Balloverseas.com is where you get this book. The book is already free. It's 237 pages. I already paid for the book. All you got to do is pay for the shipping. Go to balloverseas.com. Get yourself the Overseas Basketball Blueprint. All that being said, let me see if we have any questions in the comment section. Somebody got a question, go ahead and post it in the comments. I will address it right now. For those of y'all who don't know, I do these lives every day at 5:15 p.m. Eastern, unless otherwise noted. But if you check my story, I'll tell you if I ever change the time. Somebody said, like, you took a nap? No, I ain't take no nap. No naps. I get full night of sleep at night, and that's it. The Super U, Han Hoops. Shout out to Han Hoops for reading that Super U. Those of y'all know what the Super U is. That's my book on confidence. You can get that as part of the 4-book Bulletproof Bundle. The Mirror of Motivation is one of those 4 books. And when you get this book for free, there's a little box on that page. If you want to get all 4 books, there's a little box you can check, and I'll tell you about getting the rest of it. That's called the Bulletproof Bundle. 4 books on discipline, confidence, mental toughness, and personal initiative. Those are the 4 pillars of my business framework, my philosophy framework called Work on Your Game. Lauren said Michael Jordan hates your people. How you know how Michael Jordan feels? Now, as soon as somebody starts telling me how another person feels in their head, then we can't give any credit to that. Let's see. Cash says, how do you know you're ready to go pro? I got some good feedback from an agent. He says I have a good chance to go pro. How did I know I was ready to go pro? Because I was graduated from college and there wasn't nowhere else to play but the pros. That's how I knew. College was over. All right, what's the next level of the pros? That's how I knew. Cash says, the best way to get my following up on Instagram. The post material that people are interested in. That's pretty much it. Taj Milan says, real shht. Appreciate you. King Fiza says, how is quarantine? It's same as yours. Sherwood says, where can I get the Hoop Handbook? At hoophandbook.com. It says, take those 2 words you already wrote and put a .com at the end. There you go. Brandon said, for some reason the word hater sounds weird. In a good way to me, I might need a replacement word. Well, you don't have to announce it to anybody else. You can just use it for yourself. You can just feel like you're hating. You feel you're hating on somebody else's accomplishment, but the reason you're feeling that envy is because it's something in what they did that is motivating you. So you can use that energy for positive purposes, or you can use it for negative purposes for people who are haters in a negative way. Man said, I made fun of a friend's tournament saying it wasn't prestigious. He took it personal. What should I do? I don't know. You want to figure that out. He's your friend. How am I tell you what you should do? Somebody asked me about Aaron. Now, I don't even know who that is. Chris, whoever you're talking about, I have no idea who that person is. So my book, Work on Your Game. This is taking a pro athlete mindset to dominate your game in business, sports, and life. This is basically all of my philosophy that I've been talking about for 15 years. I took the best of that philosophy. This is not the whole thing because the book would be like the size of this room. But I took the best of it and condensed it down to 250 pages, and I put it into this book. It's called Work on Your Game. It's a hardcover book. I'll give you $1,000 worth of digital bonuses, immediate access bonuses when you order this book at workonyourgamebook.com. So while you're waiting for the book to come in the mail, you're already going to have access to the bonuses that you'll get immediate access to exclusively at workonyourgamebook.com. So yes, this book is available on all platforms, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Audible, iBooks, all of that. But if you want the bonuses, you got to go to workonyourgamebook.com. If you don't want the bonuses, then get it wherever you want. But don't say I didn't tell you. And all right, these two books I'm telling you about one more time. We'll see if we got any other questions. The Mirror of Motivation, you get this at mirrorofmotivation.com. Both of these books are free. All you do is take care of the shipping. The book is already paid for. We just ordered 200 books today. Not just these two, but a bunch of books. These we ordered the most of because these are the ones that we've been having to send out the most of. But we got a lot of books on the way simply because it's COVID-19 that's slowing down our normal shipping. So we taking over the shipping process. Balloverseas.com. The overseas basketball blueprint. If you want to play basketball overseas, even if you feel like you've been overlooked, underrated, never got a chance, need somebody to take a chance on you, need somebody to give you a shot, you just need to show your talent. Balloverseas.com. Give yourself the opportunity to play professional basketball. So everybody, I'm doing these lives every single day, 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless otherwise noted. Just follow my story. If I ever change the time or I don't do it or I move it up, whatever, I'll say it in my story. But if I don't say anything in my story about the live, then that means it will be going at 5:15 p.m. every single day. If you want to see a replay of this, y'all know I got 24 hours on IG, or if you go to my Facebook page, all of these videos are on there. So I don't take the videos off Facebook. So if you want to see them on Facebook before I put them on YouTube, they will come on YouTube. But every video I post now, by the time it gets to YouTube, it's going to be like a month and a half before this video goes on YouTube because I got a bunch of other videos that I put up first. So if you want to see the replay of this immediately, but you can't see it on IG, see it on Facebook. Facebook.com/Work On Your Game is my Facebook business page. Everybody have a great day. I'll be doing a live again tomorrow. Work on your game. Stay safe. We out here. Dre all day.